Unsolved.
The JonBenet Ramsey case. Ghosts of Christmas Past.
Come on, wake up, it's Christmas,
shouted JonBenet. Okay, how about December 25th, Christmas Day? How did that start out? Who got up first and that sort of thing? Well, the kids came up and woke us up, and John went down. He went to get everything ready, get the lights on, get the music on, and I think he said that Santa Claus brought me a bicycle, so he had to go get that under the tree. Okay, and then we all went down and into the living room. That's where we had Christmas. I want to back up to Christmas Eve after JonBenet had fallen asleep and show you this passage from The Death of Innocence. Last night had been no different. We had made several trips to the basement where Patsy kept the wrapped gifts stashed away. Then she had arranged them under the fat Fraser fir, which reached to the ceiling of our living room. Joe Barnhill, our neighbor, had met me in front of our home with the new bicycle for JonBenet, which he had been hiding in his basement for us. JonBenet had outgrown her training bike. A bigger bike had been on her wish list, and we could now look forward to some family bike trips together. Two things that I wanted to bring up here. This shows that John and Patsy both had been down in the basement on Christmas Day, and second, that they stored JonBenet's bicycle in Joe Barnhill's basement, and that's where Glenn Meyer was staying. So how wouldn't he know about this? Give me some more detail, Patsy, if you will, on the daytime and afternoon of the 25th. Walk me through that day. Well, we opened our presents and tried to have them do it slowly so it's not over within 5 minutes, And we all opened our things, and then we had breakfast, and I was packing as well as wrapping gifts that day. We were going to go to the lake on the 26th, so I was putting a few things together for that trip and trying to get the presents together to take up there. And then I was packing our suitcases to go. We were going to go on a Walt Disney cruise on the Big Red Boat on my birthday, the 29th. So I had summer clothes, trying to get all that ready. And so in packing, and I think I colored my hair that afternoon, like with one of those quick, everybody stayed home the whole day. No trips out the 25th prior to going to the Whites. John, I think, went out to the airplane to he always checks it out prior to the flight. Yeah, so he went out there that afternoon, and the kids were just in and out playing with JonBenet was making little jewelry things. Burke had this car that he was playing with. So you and the kids were there the whole day? Yes. Now, John Ramsey, that Christmas morning, took photographs. These are the photographs that you've seen several times before, including this one here. And you can see that JonBenet has some kind of pajama top on, and she's wearing that necklace with the cross. Now you can see in this photograph that JonBenet is wearing matching pajamas. Now the top, the shirt, I believe is on the top of her bed in that crime scene photograph. And then the bottoms, I don't know where they went, but they're not the long johns that she was wearing when she was discovered dead. Now you can see in this photograph, She's wearing that gold chain with the cross, and she doesn't have that hair tie in her hair just yet. So that must have been done just before they went over to the White's house. Now, jumping ahead to this last known photograph of JonBenet taken at Fleet White's house, you can see that hair tie in her hair. And then the really big thing that you notice is how disheveled JonBenet looks, and just overall her appearance is drastically different than it was Christmas morning. Now this photo, when she was dead on the living room floor, you can see she's still wearing that hair tie. And I'm not good with colors and matching, so that's just an example of a hair tie. Now John Ramsey left around noon to take some of the gifts and load them onto the airplane, but he was gone for several hours on Christmas Day. So I'm kind of using an analogy to the ghost of Christmas past, where he should have learned a lesson not to leave his children for so long on Christmas Day. Oh, the kids were just playing with their stuff, you know. I don't remember exactly. I was, trying to get clothes ready to go to 2 different places. I remember that. And then a bunch of kids started showing up too. They wanted to see what each other got. And, Burke set up his Nintendo 64. Yeah, they were all, a lot of them were in Burke's room playing that Nintendo. And I remember coming up there and checking on them. And the boys were mostly sitting around playing the Nintendo. And she had this little jewelry making kit right there in the doorway of Burke's room. So I made a couple with her.
I can remember we were trying to get everybody organized to leave, and JonBenet was on her bike and wanted me to take her around the block, and I said, no, we don't have time, we'll do that.
So this is kind of the third warning to John Ramsey of the ghost from Christmas past, that he should have took the time to go with his daughter around on the bicycle. Now I don't have any more time, I got things to do. But anyway, the Ramsey family went to Fleet and Priscilla White's house that night. Well, this ends this episode of Unsolved, and the next episode will be sometime in the night, on Christmas night, or the next day early in the morning, whenever the murder took place. So I'll see you then. And if you were wondering about the ghost of Christmas past, the first one, maybe that was not hiking up to the star, that one on Christmas Eve.